Welcome to video number 18. Video number 18 is going to be all about creating forms, and we're going to use PHP to create our specific forms, and that's basically what we're going to do. So the first thing that we need to know and understand is form handling of PHP. Now, a simple HTML form, that's kind of what we're going to have a look at is super globals as well. Now, the super globals, get, and posts are used to collect form data. And before we can actually use the form, we need to know and understand super globals. Now, we kind of had a look at globals in our previous arrays, and it's just important thing that what we will be covering now in the following videos with our forms, we'll be using globals like get and post. So there's a whole couple of globals out there, super globals, that has got a lot of different ways, but we'll get unraveling them, some of them, very few of them, in the following videos. The rest you kind of gotta figure out, and as you go and work yourself better in PHP, MySQL, you can get used to what is the difference between this and uh, and so on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by understanding what is PHP Super Global Server. Now, Super Global Server, as spelled like, let me show you an example. So, good example is it will be always be spelled as like this, always in uppercase. Okay, so $server is a PHP super global variable which holds information about headers, paths, and script locations. Okay, the example below, what we're going to do is going to show you how the server works. Okay, so let me show you an example. And this is a good example of how it looks like. So you've got server PHP self, server name, server HTTP host, and so forth and so forth. So if we go and we run this, you'll see that it says, okay, well, page name, because we're saying PHP self, the PHP self is sold.php. The server name is test_3 demo possible tech. The host is the same, and then it's saying what referrer are we using? We're using Mozilla 5, Windows NT, WoW 64, Apple WebKit 5.3.6, KHTML, and so it goes on and on and on. And then it also shows you user agent and the script name. So it's just a way of figuring out what kind of server we're working with. So this is the kind of different ways of doing and using that. The other one is PHP underscore request. Now, the PHP underscore request is used to collect data after submitting an HTML form. Now, the example that I'm going to show you is the form with an input field and a submission button. Okay, when the user submits the data, by clicking on the submit, the following data is sent to the file specified in the action attribute of the form tag. In this example that I'm going to show you, we're going to point the file itself by processing form data. If you wish to use another PHP file to process form data, we're going to replace that with the file name of our choice. Now, when we can use a super global variable request to collect the value of the input data field. So let me show you an example. There's a good example of it. We went and we said form, and the action of the form is server self. So I'm just going to save this, and I'm going to reload it. Oh, that's not supposed to be open up. So I'm just going to reload this, and then basically we're just going to say whatever, and then you can say submit, and then it's going to display the result of that. And that's basically what we did, yeah. Okay. And that's basically looking at global super globals. Now let's do something fun. Let's move away a bit from this heavily theory bit. It's getting me, it's getting us tired, right? So let's create a new page. I'm going to save it as, and I'm going to save it as a simple HTML form. So I'm just going to say simple form.php, and then I'm going to paste the following in. I'm going to say HTML, my HTML body, I'm just going to change that. Here we go, that looks better. So I'm going to open up my body, I'm going to say form action welcome.php. We're going to say method is post, okay? And then we're going to say name input is text, and we're going to say name, and then email, the input is text, and we're going to say email. And we're going to add a submit button. Okay, now we said that we want it to action towards welcome.php, so it's going to need to look for a welcome.php page. Now, when the user fills out the form that we just created and click submit button, the form data is sent for processing to the PHP called welcome.php. The form data is sent with a PHP post method, because we said line number 10, we said method is post, so it's getting sent by a post method. And so for us to display the submitted data, you could simply echo all the variables. The welcome to PHP would, for instance, look something like this. So I'm going to go and create a new file. I'm going to say close all. Let's say save as. I'm going to call it as welcome.php. And what do I want done in welcome.php as a file? I'm just going to open up the previous page that we were working on. So simple form. I'm going to open that up. I'm just going to copy the first bit again. And then I'm going to add the following. Okay, that is done. So I'm going to hit save. So just saying welcome echo post name, and then it's say your email address is, and then it's saying post. So basically we're just going to have a simple form, and we're going to draw data from one page to another. So if I'm going to display this for you, it will look like this. Let me just go to the page. Let me go to simple form first, because we need to start off there, otherwise we'll get an error. So I'm going to say pages, and then I'm going to say okay, here you can see we've got a name and an email address, and if I go and type in my name, my email address, and I hit submit, it says welcome Jacques, your email address is this. It's just a one quick way of pushing the values forward to a specific page. So that is looking at simple a simple HTML form and using PHP coding to push values forward from one page to another. Now, in the next video, we're going to have a look at how to use get, because we just used post, so now we're going to use get, and we're going to see the differences between the two.